Hi everyone, I'm opening up the tool shed again and getting ready to go on another trip back up to Massachusetts to work on that property where we've been getting dinosaur prints. So wish me luck, be heading out there tomorrow morning, packing up the truck now, first of all, I'm gonna need giant pry bars because dinosaur prints come in giant rocks. So it's going to be mainly pry bars, a jack, some boards, and some smaller hand tools, chisels, and even some delicate tools like butter knives are what are needed to start digging out all the large slabs that are going to have dinosaur prints. I already know there's going to be some there because I'm kind of working where I left off last year. So it's the first time back this year. Have some really great prints waiting and some nice slabs waiting to be turned over. And I'm going to be meeting up with Gary, the landowner, pretty soon. See you there. So here we are at the Golden Dinosaur Trackway again, working on the dinosaur prints that we found last year. They held up very well over the year thanks to Gary taking good care of them, and we're going to try to cut them out today. The tracks are all going a little bit towards the northeast. This one's about 31 degrees. This one, the toe is pointing about 35 degrees, and the other about 37 degrees. The area that we're digging in is the Deerfield Valley in Massachusetts. This is actually part of what's considered to be a failed rift. Long ago, when Pangea was breaking up, part of North America actually started to rip and almost got pulled away with Africa, which was separating as the Proto-Atlantic Ocean formed. If you take a look at this drawing over here, you can see that these diabase intrusions are basically places where the tear was happening and lava was rising up and covering a lot of this area in the central Connecticut Valley and extending up to Massachusetts. Well, the Atlantic Ocean, as we know, actually tore at another place a little bit further to the east, and this did remain part of North America. But this weakened area allowed the magma, the diabase intrusions or magma that came up, and it protected a lot of the Jurassic sediments. So it was actually kind of capped or protected by these igneous rocks. Well, over time in the Connecticut Valley, they've eroded away, and at some places, these sedimentary rocks that were protected by the overlying igneous rocks are now exposed, and this is where we can see what was happening back in the early Jurassic. And so what you can see now is the dinosaur footprints as they walked across this land 200 plus million years ago. The formation JSM, or the Jurassic Shadow Meadow Formation, is right near the very bottom of the Jurassic. And these prints have been protected all this time. Oh, frog. And the other one is?
Right there.
Oh, yeah. So the frog will end up in the next movie.
He's bigger.
Oh, yeah.
He's bigger. You gonna go join them?
Oh, yeah. The noise in the morning or night or?
In the evening.
The evening.
Next to that's what they call them, green frogs.
So over here we put down this railway. This railway is to make a nice straight cut and to be sure to cut exactly the part that we do want.
Just making sure it's a parallel.
The last time I posted one of these dinosaur trackway excavation videos, there was a comment as to why we are doing it. Why are we destroying these dinosaur prints? Well, we're trying to be very careful with them and preserve them as we go. The landowner is removing the rocks. They're not going to stay there. So we are excavating them very carefully and recording what they find. For this large print, it's worth publishing. I was going to be part of a team with paleontologist Patrick Getty to go ahead and produce a paper. Unfortunately, though, as with many other people in 2020, Dr. Patrick Getty passed away. And now I am going to use the materials that I've gathered, the data that I collected, to go ahead and actually publish these prints. It's going to take a while, and I'm going to be looking for other people to collaborate with on this, and also some other things I've excavated as well. So, scientifically, the site is not going to be left untouched. The site is actually going to be removing the rocks. So in this case, we are preserving the information from these dinosaur prints and related strata as best we can. What is it with these snakes? Every time I go fossil hunting, I'm running into snakes. Well, we worked really hard, but we weren't able to get this done in one day. We were able to cut all along the sides of the fossil, at least long ways anyway, and to start to dig it out a little bit. But we really want to try and keep this intact. We don't want it to break, because once this stuff breaks, it can shatter into many pieces, and before you know it, this incredible fossil could be destroyed. It is really delicate work. So rather than rush it, rather than try and do it all in one day, I'm gonna have to come back a second day. So I'm set to go back there tomorrow to try and continue to get that giant Ubrontes dinosaur trackway out off of the front part of Gary's property. So going to be going up there, going to be really careful. Hoping this comes out well. Have really good plans for this. A, want to publish it, and B, I also want to build a really good frame for it. So have plans for this. Hoping it goes well tomorrow. Keep your fingers crossed. Wish with me. We'll see how this goes. See you there. So if you like this, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. Tell me why. Put something in the comments and maybe I can do better next time. And hit subscribe button if you don't. Yeah, right. So right back at the site on the Golan Dinosaur Trackway. And now removing some of this, I'm going to call it side burden, in order to get at the edge of this long narrow strip, because that, I think, gives you the best chance of getting this up in only one or two pieces. The object is not to damage this incredibly good dinosaur print, or prints rather. So that's what we're trying to do here, and only time will tell if we get this done right. If we manage to get this out without breaking it, it's not going to be easy. It is very fragile, and it is Very going to be very hard work, but we will see. Oh, also I should mention that I went ahead and took very careful measurements of the print before doing any work. Heel to heel pace and distance between individual footprints, because if we have to cut this in half, that's actually going to alter the size. There'll be a little gap where the saw blade was. So we want to get those measurements first so that our accurate measurements will be accurate as possible, and then can work out the speed and size of this dinosaur. The dinosaur prints that we're finding are called hubrantes. These are the larger ones. Smaller ones, possibly of the same species, are named granulator. These are not the same names as the dinosaurs that made them, and the reason that paleontologists give the footprints their own separate names is because we very rarely can be exactly certain what species made the footprint. Many theropods look similar, and it's very possible that there are species that we don't even know of because no fossils have remained. So the fossil footprints get their own separate name. These large ones are called hubrantes. It's believed that the hubrantes probably represent Dilophosaurs. Dilophosaurs are very large theropod dinosaurs, look kind of like a skinny T-Rex with a double set of crests on its head. That's what we believe they are, but we don't know for sure. So these very large dinosaur prints, probably representing a dinosaur maybe 5 meters long and maybe 3 or 4 meters tall, are known as hubrantes. Oh, nice. It looks like it's all going to pop up.
Oh, I hope so. I'm heading a little course. I think that's ready to fry up.
I think it is, yes. Good job. I spent, what, 2 hours over here and you get that up in 2 minutes? Awesome.
Here I'm getting a little rougher. Uh-oh. That's already coming up.
It's already coming up, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's coming.
Awesome.
To lay right above it.
So here is our dilemma. It is out, it is loose, it is also fragile as anything, and extremely heavy. Lots of cracks in it, and trying not to break this thing. So we're trying to figure a way to get this out and up without destroying it. So all this work, and I've neglected to film very much at all, but we finally got out the first piece with one print, Didn't come out perfectly, but the print is still intact. It's in the car. Now we're trying the second one. The second one has 2 prints on it. It's third smaller print. It's in perfect shape. I try really hard to keep this one together.
All together. I'll take a shot from here and there. And let me get some more boxes or something in the house.
Okay, yes.
So that we can maybe label them, like I'll put all the pieces for the middle break there and all the pieces for the end break in another box.
Yep.
A container. Then mark them. And then when you get it home, you should have a pretty easy time of figuring out where the pieces go.
Yep.
Or another thing to do is when we take it apart, you know, you can take a video of putting it in the box, all the pieces. Yeah. Well, anyway, let me get a couple smaller boxes.
Okay. Yes, it is. I don't know how possible it was. We were kind of like really pushing the envelope.
Yes. Tape it while you do the transfer
Okay.
so that you'll have a record of what fell off and then see where I put it in the box.
Yes, that's perfect. It's already running.
Oh, all right.
So
Go for it. Looking good. All right, now the little pieces. Put that in the box.
Dino print.
Oh, another one.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's from underneath
Oh,
here.
that's underneath here, yeah.
Ooh, we got 2 prints in one. Even though the bottom doesn't look very good.
So we'll save it for next time, see if we can fix it up nice.
Yeah, and now you got some pieces there.
This here?
Yep, get that.
Gonna leave that. That one's still sticking. All right. So now I want to move this slab to where you're sitting.
Okay.
All right. Let's put those 2 pieces in the box.
Yes. I'll tell you what, I'll run the camera. You want? Well, you put them in. That looks better. Very nice.
I just touched that piece that I didn't want to touch. And there we go.
Almost got it. Oh no. Not in the middle, did it? Is that okay? Oh yeah. It cracked a little, but
Yeah.
it's still together. Okay, and the last piece.
So here's,
Section.
this came off. Actually, this was underneath it. I don't want to do that. I'll just have to remember this piece. All right. Well, excavating that trackway took a lot longer than we thought it would. It took an entire second day. We ended up working beyond darkness. Thank you to Gary for bringing out the lights so we could finish up. Didn't come out as well as we hoped. Originally I was hoping to get the whole thing in one piece. We did eventually have to cut it in half, and in excavating it there were also a couple of places where there were breaks. Now these breaks are not going to be a problem. We saved all the pieces and it's going to be pretty easy to assemble this back together again. So once again it will be a 12 or 14 foot trackway. So I want to take a moment to look at this. This was from the side. Some of that side burden, if you want to call it that we're pulling away from the large trackway, and I see a nice little print in it. Didn't see it right away because we were really focusing on the trackway. The side burden, we're really expecting to find too much in it, but we always look. And once we got some of the dirt off, here it is. Nice little dinosaur print. Now I'm going to wash that off and it should come much clearer and look much nicer. Just start off gently, just a little bit of water. I'm doing both the filming and the washing, so bear with me. There we go. See the water, the mud coming off. The print showing up nice. Oh yeah, this is a beautiful little print. There we go. Nice, beautiful print. I'm going to stop and turn it around, see if there's anything showing on the other side. All right, so now we're looking at the other side. Yeah, the print's not really showing in through, so it doesn't go this deep. Something interesting down here. Looks like a weak print from a different layer. So a nice little, very busy little area of the lake bed. But ultimately, this is what we have. Really nice little dinosaur print in the middle of this rock. This is the piece that was underneath that sort of extension where there were no prints, at least none showing there. And it broke off, which we weren't too thrilled that it broke off, but once it did break off, holy cow, look at this, another dino print that wasn't showing up. I hope this is, this is showing up pretty well now. You can see it. We couldn't see that print when we were working. It was kind of inside two layers of rock. So there's a print there. Another bulge here, which looks like it might have been part of a print right near where it broke. And another bulge at the bottom. Oh yeah, look at that, another toe. And a little extra there. So we have a place where looks like maybe where Jurassic was standing. That is pretty cool. So this is what was inside that rock, finding more and more good finds. Really enjoying the work out here and making some nice finds. So let's take a look now at the pieces that I've carefully packaged up and brought home for the reconstruction and documentation of this very large Jurassic dinosaur trackway from the Golan Dinosaur Trackways. So here's the piece that is unfortunately going to need a lot of repair. It is the northernmost piece. I'm hoping you can see the large dinosaur print. This is the first one that we found. We originally found this dinosaur trackway, which led us to dig more and find the rest. So this is actually broken into three large pieces, which we can easily put back together again, and a couple of smaller pieces that could be a little bit tricky, but we saved them. We have to very carefully do this without letting anything else come apart. In addition to the Jurassic, these three very big dinosaur prints, we also have a smaller one up here, so a nice little added bonus. So I'm actually going to want to keep that as well. So my mission is going to be to go ahead and reassemble this piece, get it back together and stable to the best of my ability, and then add that to the other two in a large frame. This large frame will probably be in the form of a table for viewing. So wish me luck on this. I'm going to do my best, but it certainly is, even though somewhat damaged, is still going to be publishable. What we're looking at here now is the rest of the project. So you can see down at the bottom of the slab is where I have cut it. that actually matches up with this other slab over here, which we'll be taking a closer look at in a moment. The important thing right here is one of the big Ubrontes tracks right over here. I hope you can see this. The Ubrontes track was the first, so this would be the southernmost one, and the tracks were going from south to north. We have 3 toes clearly visible, maybe a little bit of a metatarsal at the rear, sort of hanging toe in the back, I'm not really sure, but that is one of the really big dinosaur prints. I'm going to move the light and we'll take a look at the other piece. And now we are looking at the mid piece. This straight cut in the edge matches up with the lower portion of that other piece from the first part of the trackway. This is the middle part. This is the part where we can see another really big, very well defined in this case, Ubrontes track. So this is part 2 of 3 of the Ubrontes trackway. Alright, ladies and gents, as you can see, I really have my work cut out for me reconstructing this dinosaur trackway and publishing it. Thank you so much for watching this to the end. For some reason, my dinosaur trackways don't get nearly as many views or likes, but that's one of the things I do, one of the types of fossils that I love to search for, so I'm putting it out there. So thank you very much for watching this to the end. I will certainly show you what this looks like when it's all done, when I have the trackway reconstructed and framed out into a nice display case. And I'll also give an update when the paper is published. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please hit that subscribe. It'll certainly help my channel. That helps out a lot. Thank you. And happy fossil collecting.